Now, finally, the last video you guys have, we're going to start on the top of page 64, dividing a mixed number by a fraction. Read the problem below, then explore how to divide a mixed number by a fraction. A mixed number is this, okay, 1 4/5. That's how you would say that. So it's some whole number, 2 4/9 or something. That's a mixed number. So we're going to be looking at how do you divide that by a fraction. I'm going to say that name is Mari. Mari, because Mario would be with an O. So Mari divides 1 4/5 pounds of granola into 2/5 pound bags for a bake sale. How many bags of granola can she sell? In the picture, she shaded the bars, and that represents 1 4/5 pounds of granola in this picture right there. And then each circle shows 2/5 pounds bag of granola. So there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. So 4, and then you have this one left over, but that's actually half of a bag. So we will look at model it now. In model it, maybe we'll look at model it. There we go. In model it, you can use words and equations to understand the problem, just like all the other model it's. Think, how many 2/5 are in 1 4/5? Use division to find how many 2/5 are in 1 4/5. So they've done that for you, and then you will get the number of bags of granola. So when you do this, you need to think 1 4/5 is the same as 9/5, because this 1 right here represents 5/5. So you have 5/5 plus 4/5, which is the 4/5 right there, and that's 9/5. Okay? We're going to move on from there. Top of page 65. 17. Picture it on the previous page. Why do you circle groups of 2/5 to solve this problem? Well, because Mari divided the granola into 2/5 pound bags. Mari, I don't know why this isn't working. Mari wanted 2/5 pound bags. You're trying to find that's trying, not tying, trying to find how many 2/5 there are in 1 4/5. 18. Count the circles. How many 2/5 pound bags of granola can Mari sell? Well, how many times did he circle? He circled 4. What fraction of a bag would the remaining 1/5 pound of granola be? So at the very end of that you have a remainder of 1. What does that represent? Well, it represents a half of a bag. That 1/5 is half of a bag. 20. Look at the model it. Explain how you know 1 4/5 is equal to 9/5. Well, 1 4/5 is the same as 5/5 plus 4/5. Okay, and 5/5 plus 4/5 is 9/5. This equals 9/5. Explain how to use multiplication to evaluate 9 divided by 2/5. Well, dividing by 2/5, dividing by 2/5 is the same as multiplying by its R word reciprocal. Bang. We're going to move on to 22. So get this wrote down, 22. Evaluate 9/5. Once again, evaluate just means solve. So this is 9/5 times the reciprocal, which is 5/2, equals 45 over 10, which is the same as 4 and 5/10, which is the same as 4 1/2. Okay, and if you need help with this, we'll go over a few more like this eventually, but it can be complicated, but you can get 4, which is 40, out of this. So there's your 4 wholes. Then you have 5 left over, and that's over your denominator, which is 10, and the 5/10 can break down to 1/2, which is how you end up getting 4 1/2 right there. So 23, explain how to divide with mixed numbers. Well, dividing with mixed numbers is just like dividing with fractions, but write mixed numbers as fractions. Then multiply by the reciprocal. 24 and 25 is try it. You need to try it on your own. And once again, I want to see your work when I get to you, and if you don't understand it, if you haven't tried it yet, I'm not going to help you. 24, you need to be at 1/2 of the cup, and for number 25, you're going to be at 2 1/2.